Alien Ant Farm and CKY have been in the midst of a big co-headlining tour over in Europe, lots of sold-out shows, until unfortunately an explosive backstage altercation has led to CKY being removed from the tour lineup, and you know that's got to be serious for something like that to happen. We have vocalist Dryden Mitchell from Alien Ant Farm speaking on the circumstances that have led to that, and it is a crazy story. Now, Alien Ant Farm recently released their latest record called Mantras. I really like this record. If you haven't heard it yet, definitely check it out. And I've been a fan of the band since Anthology. Really love that record ever since I first heard it on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. And I love CKY as well. Always have. Such a talented band. So this is really unfortunate to hear. This is what Dryden had to say about what went down between these two bands backstage. The co-headlining tour between Alien Ant Farm and CKY kicked off on October 22nd in the Netherlands, and things had been going well until, as Alien Ant Farm's Dryden Mitchell tells it, he heard that Chad Ginsburg of CKY had been mistreating some of the crew backstage. And as most of you probably know by now, the crew and bands are like family, and so they don't like to hear if members of the crew are being mistreated. Things were apparently so concerning to Dryden Mitchell that he confronted Chad about it, and that's when the altercation took place. Here's what he had to say. He wrote, "Sadly, Chad from CKY hasn't figured out how to cohabitate with others after all these years. It will no longer be on the Alien Ant Farm tour through the rest of the UK shows. After Chad punched me in the face earlier today, I've watched him treat multiple crew members and opening band members like trash through the Europe shows and cause general drama around our camp. Before the last Europe shows, I went to Chad and asked if he had any issues with anyone specifically and if he wanted to have a meeting with the whole crew and bands to discuss what's going on. He upended the table in the dressing room and threw his phone and then canceled their show. Today, we still had business things to square away, and I told his manager what a problem Chad was being verbally, as well as picking up the bus with all of his messes every day for other people to clean up. Well, he punched me in the face and pretty much ran away, like I imagine he'll do for all of his future problems. I'm grateful for my sobriety and grateful that I didn't retaliate physically in any way whatsoever. I would love these shows to continue and apologize to all the CKY fans for Chad's behavior. We have zero hard feelings for Jess and Elvis and CKY and are gutted to see them go, but I will never knowingly put myself in a volatile situation, so this had to end. After suffering a C1 and C2 fusion, spinal fracture, from a bus crash years ago, I hope that everything is okay in that area. Shows will continue without CKY, and we hope everyone still wants to come enjoy positive evenings with us, including CKY fans. If you don't, we understand, and refunds will be issued accordingly. Stay safe, everybody. And Chad, go to the gym. After that, find a therapist, and maybe in 25 years, we can shake hands. Until then, though, get help. Love, Dryden." You know, when you hear stories like this, it creates a number of problems. Obviously, from what he's saying, CKY is being pulled off of this tour, so that is going to create a problem for them. But also, you know, other bands look at this, and if what he's saying is correct, they're not going to want to deal with any sort of personalities out on the road that are going to be mistreating crew, causing problems. You know, what I've learned, just like being easy to deal with is like half the battle. People don't want to deal with drama backstage, people flipping tables, punching people. This is just not something that other bands are going to look at and are going to want to tour with. And so that kind of stuff is really not cool. And Dryden has always just been a hilarious guy. And I love that he's saying that he's sober and he's grateful for his sobriety. That is wonderful to hear. And so, you know, Alien Ant Farm, you look at the latest record they put out, go listen to that album. It's a sick record. And, you know, I'm sending all the best over to CKY as well. I really love that band. I've always loved their music. And so I hope whatever is going on there gets worked out. But anyhow, that's your latest update here from Rockfeed. Be sure to subscribe and notifications on for the latest news and updates.